This episode in the news, paint that helps keep your home cool. So I was doing a little research. I came across an article about a new paint coating. I actually wasn't doing research on paint coatings, but I came across this article on a paint coating that helps keep your home cooler. It's pretty interesting stuff. We're going to talk about it.
Welcome to the Handyman Pros Radio Show. Home improvement and maintenance tips from the pros.
Thanks for listening to another edition of the Handyman Pros Radio Show, where our goal is to help save you time, money, and aggravation in your home maintenance and repair. This edition's entitled In the News, Paint That Keeps Your Home Cool. And to help me explain, I'm here with John, the paint cooling wonder man himself. Johnny.
Yeah, the guy who really loves to paint.
Yeah, exactly. It's all of us like painting. No, sorry, don't do
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But
this is an article that you ran across, Larry, and it's hey, if this stuff can help, let her rip, baby.
Rip. So this was an article that came out of Science News. It was printed on June 13th by Larissa G. Capella, and it says the paint that sweats to keep your home cool. And this essentially was some people in Singapore, and we're just going to go over it quickly. So paint, obviously, John, when you think about it, if you paint your house white, it's going to be a little bit cooler than if you paint your house black, right? Based just on reflectivity of the sunlight, right? I mean, kind of common sense, one would think, right? Well, in Singapore, I guess they have such a high humidity level that there's a microclimate that gets created around your home. And I guess that's true probably in Atlanta as well.
Sure, everywhere.
It's so humid. Anywhere where it's really humid, you get this little microclimate around your house, and the heat doesn't actually get out as well. So these, brainiacs, for lack of a better word, I don't mean that in a negative term. I mean, these guys really put some thought in it. They're like, we're going to make a new paint. We're going to work on this paint. We're going to try to solve this problem. And it seems like they did. They've come up with this paint formula where the house actually sweats a little bit. It condenses the airs, the humidity in the air, and thus causes the house to sweat, aka get little droplets of water on it. Then you get the evaporative effect of cooling on the house, right? So just like when you sweat, if you sweat and you blow a breeze over you get cool, right? Well, this paint formula does this to your house. And it's a fascinating article. This is going to be a pretty short show about this, but read up on this. It's not available commercially yet, but I think this is a technology, especially if you live in a warm climate, that's going to be something like I'm going to consider it at the house, in Georgia, because gosh, heat or cooling is our biggest expense. What's your take on this one, Johnny?
I was just reading this article, a little bit here, and this has been going on, I guess, am I reading this right? Over a couple of years, they've been testing this stuff.
Yes. Yeah. This is close to production.
This stuff is probably close to being, useful coming out.
Yeah.
If
this
hasn't been out already.
Right. Which it might be. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've done some testing. They've done some real world testing where they've put it up. They've done some what you call beta testing, I guess. Standard paint, heavy duty commercial reflective paint, and their formula. And they've noted a significant difference between the three, especially in durability and longevity, which I found to be very interesting. That it seems to have lasted longer.
That's what I was reading here. It says it reflects 88 to 92% of sunlight. Okay.
Yep.
Even when wet, and emits up to 95% of the heat that it absorbs.
Right.
So
and the article itself goes into some of the details of how
the nanoparticles. Once again, here comes the nano stuff back, which is great. So they're using nanotechnologies. So here's here's kind of the I don't want to bury the lead on this, but here's here's really the punchline. It says tests show that the house covered in new paint used 30 to 40% less electricity for air conditioning than the other houses, which were painted in just plain white.
Yeah, that's significant, like really significant.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see to do the cost analysis on it, because of course we know it's going to be more expensive, But gosh, if you can get a 40% savings,
Well,
particularly again,
of course.
like in Atlanta, yeah, like in Atlanta
Yeah.
where it's hot, or Phoenix, or any place in the U.S. where it's
Miami.
hot, Miami, yeah, whatever, half the country
Yeah.
basically. This might be an option. This is something that this is a technology that we actually need to keep our eyes on, because this could be really significant, really, really significant. So
Well,
I
not
thought
just
it
for
interesting.
residential, for commercial too.
Oh, commercial as
Big time.
well. Oh, across the board. Yeah, across the board.
Um,
This is some interest. This is interesting science. To me, this is interesting science. So,
oh,
and
so
it's not
we'll keep.
period.
You know what? Let's kind of keep our eye on what's happening with this stuff, because I mean, honestly, here's a product. As I think about it, is it's a new product. I don't know how it would be applied in terms of
Right.
would it be from a franchise type of people that need to know how to do it, or would it be kind of just available to all of us?
Yeah, we don't have the answers.
We
to
don't
that
have
yet.
the answer to that, but if it is available, I mean, here's a way to to think about something. If this thing's saving 30 to 40% or more on your air conditioning, reflecting, wow, that's impressive.
That's significant. Yeah, that's really significant. I mean, that's a tremendous savings.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
So something you can do
and-
yourself, it'd be great.
Yeah, and it's not even, we're not even throwing in the environmental factors of how much less energy that, you're putting
Right.
into the world, and all that, or taking out of the world, I should say, and all that kind of stuff. So there's big ramifications to this one, because it's a passive type situation. So yeah, really interesting stuff. Really, really interesting stuff. So
We'll keep
all right, Johnny,
keep our eye on it, man.
spaceships landed, baby. What do we do?
Paint it white. Paint it
All right, folks, if you indeed enjoy this craziness we call the Handyman Pros Radio Show, please send us, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, send us a question at questions at handymanprosradioshow.com. We certainly appreciate it. We've also got a Facebook page out there and a bunch of other good stuff, ways to get a hold of us. Not huge, but we do respond to all of our queries. So if you do have it might take us a little bit, but we do respond to our queries. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, do send us a line. We will get a hold of it. And with that, Johnny, take us home, baby.
Yeah. By the way, we never even said, here's Larry's still up in the Great White North. He's way
the Great
up
White
there.
North. Speaking of reflective, no, it's not.
Yeah,
it's
he's
pretty green.
he's
Still snow on the mountains.
He's still
Johnny.
he's still up in the middle of nowhere, Alaska. It's impressive.
I resemble
man.
that remark, Johnny.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
And everything's going
All
good
right.
for you up there, I guess. That's good. All
Yeah,
right,
have a
folks.
good
And Larry, this goes for you too. Have a good week. Have a safe week, and we'll see you next time on the Handyman Pros Radio Show.